It is popularly known as the most dangerous animal in the Arctic. It can even defeat an African lion in a confrontation. Despite its seemingly calm demeanor, underestimating the fury of this animal can be a grave mistake. In places where humans might freeze to death, this animal walks easily. It loves to prey on seals and has a strong sense of smell. It is a relative of the brown bear. We are talking about none other than the polar bear. The polar bear is considered the largest species of bear, as well as the largest terrestrial carnivore in existence. Unlike its relatives, the black bear and the grizzly bear, the polar bear is the most carnivorous of the bears, with over 90% of its diet consisting of meat. Polar bears are typically found along the Arctic Circle, surrounding the Arctic Ocean and other seas and lands. The polar bear is widely known as the sister species to the brown bear, having evolved significantly to survive in cold temperatures, walk on snow and ice, and hunt seals, its favorite prey. Although born on land, polar bears spend most of their lives on the sea ice of the Arctic Ocean. This is perhaps why polar bears are classified as marine mammals. The literal meaning of their scientific name, Ursus maritimus, is sea bear. The polar bear was first described in 1774 by Constantine John Phipps, who gave it the scientific name Ursus maritimus. Before this, polar bears were considered a distinct species, but after several studies, it was found that the polar bear closely resembled the brown bear. It became clear that the evolution of both bears was almost in the same direction, making the theory of their individuality incorrect. After considering many scientific names for the polar bear, Phipps' name Ursus maritimus was finally adopted. Historically, the polar bear was also known as the white bear and is sometimes referred to as Nanook, based on the Inuit term Nanook. As previously mentioned, polar bears are found in Arctic regions such as Greenland, Russia, Alaska, Newfoundland, Norway, and Canada. The limited development in these areas has helped polar bears survive. Polar bears are distributed unevenly throughout the Arctic, being found in smaller numbers in the north compared to the south, such as James Bay in Canada. Speaking of their southern range, polar bears are mostly found near the boundary between the subarctic climate zone and the humid continental climate zone. As they spend most of their lives on frozen water, polar bears drifting away on ice floes happens frequently. The total number of polar bears on Earth has not been properly studied yet. The total polar bear population is divided into 19 types or subpopulations. 60% of these subpopulations are in Canada. Of these 19 subpopulations, 1 is on the brink of extinction, 2 are increasing rapidly, 7 are stable, and 9 lack sufficient data as of 2017. We mentioned earlier that the preferred prey of polar bears is seals. This is mainly because seals are the most abundant and accessible animals in the areas where polar bears live. One common hunting method is for the bear to remain completely still next to a seal's breathing hole, waiting for hours or even days for a seal to surface for air. Seals are slippery and well designed to escape from polar bears. A polar bear might catch only 1 or 2 out of every 10 seals it encounters, depending on the time of year and other variables. Regarding hydration, Since most fresh water remains trapped in ice, polar bears have evolved to produce their own water through the metabolic breakdown of the fat found in seal blubber. This is another reason why polar bears depend on sea ice for access to seals, which are their primary food source, as well as for resting and breeding. With weather changes and climate changes occurring throughout the year, seals migrate to other places, and polar bears follow them so they don't miss their food. Apart from seals, polar bears also feed on reindeer, birds, eggs, rodents, crabs, plants, berries, roots, and in some cases, even other polar bears. One of the most unique qualities of polar bears is their highly developed sense of smell, which enables them to detect the scent of seals from about 1.6 kilometers away, or even those hiding under thick snow layers up to 1 meter deep. Their auditory and visual senses are developed to a level comparable to human abilities. Additionally, the polar bear is an extremely skilled swimmer. Polar bears are often seen swimming between Greenland and Iceland. On one occasion, a polar bear swam continuously for 9 days in the icy Bering Sea, covering a distance of over 700 kilometers to reach the ice far from land. The average polar bear can swim at speeds up to 10 kilometers per hour, walk at 5.6 kilometers per hour, and run at speeds up to 40 kilometers per hour. Polar bears are solitary animals that prefer to live their lives privately and secretly. The male and female stay together and are believed to mate several times for an entire week. The female remains pregnant for about 4 to 6 months and gains a lot of weight during this period. The cub is often born blind and weighs less than 0.9 kilograms. Each pregnancy usually results in 2 cubs. The average weight of an adult male polar bear ranges from approximately 350 to 700 kilograms, and its length is about 2.4 to 3 meters. On the other hand, the adult female polar bear weighs much less than her male counterparts, weighing about 150 to 250 kilograms and measuring 1.8 to 2.4 meters in length. However, when pregnant, females can weigh up to 500 kilograms. The largest recorded polar bear in wildlife history was a male weighing about 1,002 kilograms. It was observed in Alaska in 1960 and was 3.39 meters long. It is believed that all bears have shorter tails, but the polar bear in particular has the shortest tail, measuring only 7 to 13 centimeters long. If we compare the structure of the polar bear with its relative, the brown bear, we will notice that polar bears have a more elongated body, longer skull and nose, and relatively smaller ears and tail. Their feet are designed to be wider and larger to facilitate walking on ice or thin ice. The larger surface area of the feet helps the bear distribute its body weight evenly, and the feet also aid in efficient swimming by providing effective propulsion. The feet of an adult polar bear measure about 30 centimeters wide. The paws are covered with a thick layer of skin nodules that provide grip when walking on ice. The claws are also designed with similar characteristics to help the polar bear grasp prey and ice for the same reasons. The polar bear's claws are scoop-shaped on the underside. Scientists have conducted various studies on polar bears and discovered that polar bears sustain more injuries to their right limbs compared to their left limbs. This might indicate that the majority of polar bears are right-handed. Their 42 teeth are sharp enough to prey on animals to sustain their carnivorous diet. The teeth on the polar bear's cheeks are smaller with more jagged edges compared to the brown bear. Additionally, the canines are larger and sharper. The polar bear's fur consists of multiple layers. These layers include a dense undercoat and an outer layer of guard hairs. These layers often appear white or tan, but they are actually transparent. The guard hairs are evenly distributed across the bear's body, measuring about 5 to 15 centimeters. It's no surprise that polar bear fur appears white, but a lesser-known fact is that the color changes from white to yellow due to the effects of aging. The average lifespan of polar bears is 25 years. Several factors such as overhunting, climate change, pollution, and human development have led to a decline in the number of polar bears worldwide. Despite not knowing the exact population of polar bears on Earth, the species has been classified as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List as of 2015. Scientists are still trying to study their habitat to learn more about the root cause of the decline in their numbers. Polar bears might be whiter than snow, softer than a life-size doll, and have an endless admiration for ice. But they are still a formidable beast worthy of admiration. Don't forget to support us by liking, subscribing, and turning on the notification bell for more amazing beasts. Thanks for watching. See you in the next episode.